And good morning, Royal We family. I'm so happy that you're here today. Today, we're going to look at some memes that are aimed at helping you heal, to speak some truth into your situation and into your life. Let's go ahead and get started with this first one right here. Never waste your time trying to explain who you are to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. This is so true. And narcissistically abusive people are, in fact, committed to misunderstanding you. So it makes no sense how you're trying to apologize, how you're trying to rationalize, how you're trying to bridge the gap in between you and a toxic person, whether it's your parent, a sibling, a friend, an ex, a teacher, a coworker. It doesn't matter. You're trying to bridge that gap. They are bent on misunderstanding you so that you stay beneath them. So you're wasting your time with them. This meme is absolutely true. Never waste your time trying to explain who you are. You're better off walking away and just continue being who you are, right? Because people will find you who do value you, value your expression and everything that you are. Next meme. Narcissists. The only people whose love leaves you feeling less confident, confused, and unhappy as the relationship progresses. How many of you wonder, am I with a narcissist? How do you know if the person that you're with is a narcissist? Well, listen, right here in this meme, do you feel less confident as you go on in this relationship? Do you feel confused? Are you unhappy? Then chances are, yes, absolutely, you're dealing with a toxic narcissist, right? Because they are the only people who can constantly make you feel less confident, confused, and unhappy. The next meme. The person who doesn't value you is blocking you from the one who will. This is a good one. Listen, there are plenty of people out there who are waiting for you, who would love you, who would be able to cherish and value and enjoy the time spent with you. But you're stuck with the person who doesn't value you. The narcissistic family doesn't care if you're there or not. They just want you there as their punching bag, right? They don't care about you. So what they're actually doing is blocking you from meeting the people who really do need you. Wow. Maybe you haven't thought of it that way, but there's some truth in this meme. I definitely like this meme. Next one. If you cut your chains, you free yourself. If you cut your roots, you die. All right, this is a good one right here, right? There's a difference between cutting your chains free and cutting your roots, right? Cutting your chains, the chains that are tying you to certain relationships, your attachments, what's got you bound, right? The ideas, the societal pressures, everything that has you bound and chained. Cut those free. But cutting your roots, and what are your roots? Well, you have to know what your roots are. Roots don't necessarily mean your family of origin. That's not what this is saying. Roots, your morals, your values, these things go deeper than even your family of origin. How many of you are faith of people of faith, but your family of origin never were? And you're wondering, how did I even get that? It's because that's your roots. It's already inside of you, right? These are your roots. You can't sever your roots or you will die, right? But you can cut the chains to free yourself. Awesome. That's a good meme right there. Next meme. Don't be afraid of losing people. Be afraid of losing yourself by trying to please everyone around you. How true is this? Now, you could get lost in trying to please and save relationships that you should just let die, let go, right? Don't be afraid of losing people. Don't be afraid of losing people. Be afraid of losing yourself, because if you continue to just serve and bend yourself down on hand and knee, you give up your soul, you give up your spirit, you're crushed. You give up your possible future while you stay and try to serve people who don't care for you, right? This is saying don't be afraid of losing those people. Be afraid of losing yourself trying to serve those people, right? That's definitely a good meme. Good one for us to think about. Next one here. Don't be afraid to lose what wasn't meant to be. Similar to the last one. Right? Perhaps the relationship, the toxic, narcissistic situation that you're in is something that was never meant to be to begin with, right? Oftentimes we don't realize it. We think that that relationship has everything we need. It's everything we want, but it was never meant to be. Getting involved, hoping that we could have something that was never meant to be there, trying to make something out of nothing, right? And so this is saying, don't be afraid to lose that. Sometimes you have to. It takes acknowledging, man, I should not have been in that situation. Acknowledge it and get out. It wasn't meant to be. Next meme. You disrespect yourself every time you rekindle a friendship or relationship with someone who has disrespected you. Forgiveness is one thing. However, you must have boundaries, right? That's a great meme right there. You disrespect yourself, right, as you rekindle and reestablish contact. Listen, every time you're breaking no contact with toxic people who disrespect you, you're actually disrespecting yourself. You're letting yourself know that you don't respect yourself enough to stay away from them. You know it's bad. You know it's always a fight. You know it's never good. So why are you crossing your own boundaries every time? And at some point, you have to realize that when you get back in touch with narcissists, when you're trying to reestablish a relationship with them, you're crossing your own boundaries, man. It has nothing to do with the narcissist. Now that's you on your own, failing to stay strong, failing to find that respect for yourself, enough of that dignity to say, no, man, I'm not going back to that trash of a relationship. And hold out. Fight that urge, right? Maybe this will help put it in a better perspective. You disrespect yourself when you go back to people who disrespect you. The next meme. This is a good one for knowing when you're healing. I knew I was healing when I started responding better rather than reacting. I enjoyed alone time. I saw my parents as people with their own unresolved trauma. I set boundaries, and when people didn't respect them, I knew they were clearing space for those who did. And I was okay with being misunderstood. Each one of these is fantastic, and this is definitely an indication that you are healing. When you start responding rather than reacting, in other words, you don't get mad and upset when they're calling you names and this and that. You're responding. You're like, okay, all right, I see you. That's how you feel. You live in your world. I'm not going to live in that world with you, right? That's a sad world. I'm not going there. You're just responding. You're not getting back. Oh well, you call me this, or you this, and you that, and blah, 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 blah. No. Because that's an indication that you're not healed, right? When you enjoy your alone time, when you find more satisfaction and comfort being alone than being with toxic situation and stuff like that, right? When you see your parents as people with their own unresolved traumas, you start to accept the reality that your parents, even if they were abusive to you all your life, you realize that they were probably abused growing up. Doesn't make it right. Doesn't mean you have to endure it. It just means you can look at it from a different perspective going, man, my parents actually had a very sad upbringing. How sad for them. They do know what I'm going through, right? They lived it too. Doesn't mean you have a relationship with them. Doesn't mean you connect with them. It doesn't mean you go and endure any more abuse. It just means from a distance you can go, wow, I can have empathy. They're very broken people. Parents, siblings, ex-spouses, friends, coworkers. You can have that empathy for them. Wow, they must have really gone through it, right? When you set boundaries, and if people don't respect boundaries, they'd clear space for those who do, right? This goes with that other one. So you acknowledge that, narcissists, they've had rough lives, fine, but I set boundaries. And if they're not going to respect the boundaries, regardless of how bad their life was, doesn't matter, then they're just going to make room for people who will understand my boundaries. That's how you got to look at that, right? And when you're okay with being misunderstood, this is a great one. This is when you're free to speak again. You feel comfortable with talking and being who you are and engaging in conversation. And if people misunderstand you, that's fine. You're not hurt by that. It doesn't bother you. You're not trying to go, oh, I didn't mean to say blah, blah, blah. I didn't mean to say this and that, right? That's an indication that you're not healed yet. You're still living under this fear. These are great memes. And I hope that a lot of these memes, and again, thank you to every one of you who are on the Royal We Facebook support group who post memes. Also, on Instagram at Join the Royal We. Thank you for tagging me in memes as well. I like sharing these memes for you. And I'll be back with more videos right here on the Royal We.